Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Joel. I'm coming at you with this new video thing I'm going to try out. It's kind of like a single card discussion type deal. Just going to talk about like one card that I think is good or that's been seeing a lot of play in the meta game right now. So I'm going to start off the first one with Spirit Reaper. This is an old card. A lot of you know what it does already. It can't be destroyed. If it attacks directly, your opponent discards a card. If it's targeted by any effect, spell, trap, or monster, it's automatically destroyed after that effect resolves. So if they try to TG swap you, then you still get their TG and then it's destroyed on their side of the field, which is an important ruling to know, by the way, for all you people, playing Spirit Reaper versus those TG decks, since it does stall them pretty hard. But I want to talk about what an impact this card has on the metagame right now in regards to, what it's seeing play and what it's good against. So, for example, Spirit Reaper right now is probably seeing the most play in plant decks, which tells you a lot. Plant decks only play good cards. That's why they're the best deck right now. And Spirit Reaper is a good card because, as it's stated, it can't be destroyed by battle. So, it grants you some free turns of stall, especially versus rabbit decks that are gaining a lot of popularity, even though they suck really bad and they're, lame. So, Dolka and Logia can't get over the continuous effect to not be destroyed by battle. And it also puts on a lot of pressure offensively. You slam down a Spirit Reaper versus an open field, they're going to be forced to use resources to try to get rid of it, be it, an Effect Veiler, or, they're forced to deprison the Spirit Reaper, or they're sitting with the Gores in their hand, so they're forced to special summon their Gores with a 300 attack token because they don't want you to hit it with your Spirit Reaper. So, you should play Spirit Reaper even if it's just to make your opponent play around it. It's also a dark and a level 3, so you can make rank 3s with it. It's pretty important, in my opinion, to have in a card. It's also less than 500 attack, so it's a debris target. It's important in those plant decks. So, I want to talk about how to play Spirit Reaper a little bit, because a lot of people tend to get greedy with their Reapers, or they sit behind it too long and they don't know when to get aggressive with it. So let's talk about Spirit Reaper in a turn 1 context. You're going first, you draw your 6 cards, your opponent is playing an unknown deck, your hand is a Spirit Reaper and let's say a Solemn Warning. I think I have one around here somewhere. Yeah, a Solemn Warning. Boop. So, in my opinion, a really strong turn 1 play versus an unknown deck would be to set Spirit Reaper and set Solemn Warning. So, here, their out is probably, an MST and a Smashing Ground or a Dark Hole or something like that. But either way, it's just 1 for 1. There's no way for your opponent to plus off you significantly outside of, a huge misplay. So, let's say they summon, a Tengu or a Thunder King or a Tour Guide. Those are really popular turn 1 drops right now. You can Warning the monster, get rid of that field, make sure their field is clear, and the next turn you can flip up the Spirit Reaper to attack mode and then be ensured a direct attack, which either you'll get the discard or they'll be forced to use a resource on it, be it a Deprison or an Effect Veiler that they didn't want to use. So, and then after that, you're free to make another summon on your main phase too, relatively safely or what have you. So that's a good way to use Spirit Reaper turn 1 in my opinion. It puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. You're already going plus, or they're wasting resources they didn't want to use yet, which puts you in an advantageous position. In the mid-game stages, let's say you top deck a Spirit Reaper. If you're in a fair position and they haven't used like their Torrential Tribute or their Mirror Force or whatever, in my opinion, you should either hold on to the Spirit Reaper in your hand, wait for a more optimal time to set it, or summon it to discard a card. If you're in a losing position, it's just setting a Spirit Reaper is always a good option. It'll probably grant you a few free turns. If you're in a dominating position and they have a clear field and you have some big guys on the field, you can just summon Spirit Reaper and get in there. But another thing to be wary of when you're playing Spirit Reaper is versus Karakuris or versus even plants with the Black Rose flip effect. They can swap your Spirit Reaper to attack mode and then attack all their guys into it, and they don't have to be afraid of Gores. And he only has 300 attacks, so they might as well be attacking directly. So, just be wary of that. Make sure if you're going to throw down a Reaper, be wary of what your opponent has available to them. If you're playing Karakuri, I would probably side out your Reapers just because, they'll just smack into it all day with their Beret flip effect. And, oh, excuse me. Yeah, so that's what Spirit Reaper brings to the table IMO, in my opinion. I just used internet speak in a video. I apologize for that. decks you should be playing Spirit Reaper in, everything. No, I'm just kidding. Plants, obviously, it's really good in there. It's a debris target, like I said. It puts on a lot of pressure onto the opponent in the early game. You know, it helps you stall for a few turns. It's also good in agents, just because you can drop a Hyperion, clear their monster, normal summon Spirit Reaper, and then get in there against their hand. So I highly recommend Spirit Reaper in agents. It also enables Chaos, so you can play Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, etc. For those of you who don't play tour guides, or even if you do have tour guides, you can splash in a Reaper or two. And like I said, it's a good option versus the Rabbit decks and TGs. You know, TGs also don't main a lot of outs to Reaper. I've sat on a freaking Reaper for a million turns versus TG decks all day. So if you're having trouble with those decks, I would suggest 1 or 2 Reapers coupled with some Deep Prisons and Smashing Grounds. You know, Deep Prison is also Reaper's best friend. Works similar to Warning, where you can set Reaper, set Deep Prison, and then they attack, and then you Deep Prison their monster. The next turn you can flip up the Reaper for a clear shot at their hand. So those are the best ways to play Spirit Reaper, in my opinion. You know, just don't be stupid with it. You know, don't get greedy and play right into a Mirror Force or Torrential Tribute. You should be playing Spirit Reaper to waste your opponent's resources. You know, hit at them little by little. That's the best way to play it, in my opinion. So there you go. Play this card. If you're not playing it, you should definitely try it. It's really good. It comes common. It comes rare. It's really easy to get. You should be able to find it anywhere. So like I said, if you like this video, comment, rate, subscribe, you know, talk about your opinion on Spirit Reaper. I'll be happy to listen. And also you should check out Fraser Smith's article up on, I think it was like TCG Player, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, something like that. He recently posted an article talking about Spirit Reaper. You know, he posted a lot of good ideas coming from a great player. I'll probably link to it down below. So yeah, there you go.